Andy Johnson, Minnesota State University. We are looking at an overview of 6 lesson plan formats. But first of all, one lesson plan size does not fit all. As you will see, with different types of lessons, you need different types of plans. And with teachers as well, we all plan differently. Teachers are not standardized product. Each teacher has a different way of thinking. Some people like outline, some people like more narrative text. So we should enable each teacher to design a lesson the way that suits him or her. There are some standard elements, however, that can help you out. As well, students are not standardized products. To think that we can have a standardized form that all teachers should teach from and that we will evaluate you based on a standardized form just isn't connected to a body research. Students are not standardized products. We cannot plan lessons in a standardized way. There's difference in age, ability, interest, and learning style. And as you'll see, different types of learning experiences call for different types of lesson plans. The basic lesson plan format starts with a purpose statement. What is your purpose? What do you want students to know or learn? I do not encourage behavioral objectives because true learning happens inside the head. We are teaching. We are not training rats. So a purpose statement is the way that most teachers think. What is my purpose? The input is the specific information that you want students to know. Now, sometimes input and activity sections are combined, meaning a little instruction and a little activity, little instruction, little activity. And activities are used to get students to manipulate the information or input somehow to use and extend that information. Teaching is this: say a little bit, do a little bit. The second type of lesson plan for teaching concepts, much different. Purpose statement, students will learn about, insert your concept there, we have our materials, but then the instruction. And again, here's the input. When you are teaching a concept, you define the concept first, then you present defining attributes. This is a square, these are the attributes. You provide positive examples and negative examples, some sort of guided practice where students have to identify essence or identify examples of the concept that gives you a chance for some informal assessment. And then, again, an activity or independent practice where students do something to reinforce, extend practice, or apply what they have learned. Concept, different than the basic lesson plan form. The skills lesson plan calls for certain other things. Purpose statement, again, the input, where we tell students exactly what they need to know to perform this skill. We identify the steps or the procedural components. Boys and girls, this is long division. Here are the steps. We give them direct instruction, and we model. We tell them how it's used, why it's used. We let them see us do the skill. The order may vary a little bit. The most important thing, guided practice or scaffolded instruction. We take students through each step of the skill several times and gradually pull away that support. That enables us to use some informal assessment, again, to see if students are getting the skill. And then an activity where we provide independent practice. The goal is practice and reinforcement. If we're doing our job correctly, students should complete this with 95 to 100% success ratio. The writing lesson plan for creating writing. The purpose, students will write, or students will write about something. The pre-reading activity is probably the most important thing. Some strategy to get students to generate ideas. And there are specific strategies. You can look at my book, and I have a bunch of them in there. The during writing, where students create this draft or sloppy copy, anywhere from 5 to 20 minutes. And then the post-writing or the sharing. We describe how students are going to share and then where they'll put their drafts. Much different than the one that came before it, than the skills lesson plan. The reading lesson plan, the purpose statement. 2 types of purpose statements. Students will read and enjoy, insert the narrative text title, or students will read and understand. All right? 2 different types of text. 2 different types of purpose statements. The purpose for reading expository text or informational text, much different than reading a story. Everything that follows that purpose statement should support it. A pre-reading activity that gets them ready to read, enables them to read it independently. We may present an outline or a story map or a story preview. The during reading experience, where we describe exactly how students are going to read. The rule of thumb is substitute teachers should be able to pick it up and replicate your lesson plan. We do not, under almost any circumstance, use round robin reading or popcorn reading. That's where you go around the circle or room and students read out loud. That's a very, very bad idea and does not enable students to create meaning with print. And then the post-reading activity, some activity designed to get students to manipulate or become engaged with an idea from the text or stories. And then our last one, the discovery lesson plan. This is based on discovery learning, a type of activity. Purpose statement again, we create our discovery activity related to the purpose statement. All right, what exactly do you want them to discover? And then we present input related to our purpose statement. What do they need to know? And then an activity. All right, that is discovery learning. You have to know what discovery learning is for this to make sense to you, and it's beyond the scope of this video to teach discovery learning. I do have other ones out there. Do a Google search. And if you want to create this or put it in a modified TPA form, you can do that. But using TPA, it must be flexible to accommodate the different types of lesson plans. All right, that's it.